You're gonna hinder my investigation. So, I mean, we could do this easy or we could do it hard, and I really don't want to do it hard.
You're arresting me for nothing.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and this is San Joaquin Valley Transparency. In the quiet early hours of October 1st, 2025, officers from the Jesup Police Department in Georgia were dispatched to 1810 South Palm Street. The call was simple, a welfare check for a man who had reportedly fallen asleep on private property with his dog nearby.
Is it turn the point?
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I'm straight.
But within minutes, that simple welfare call turned into a custodial arrest, and what followed raised serious questions about probable cause, police policy, and constitutional limits.
Chilling. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Got a complaint. You was with somebody's driveway.
Right there? Yeah.
In this video, we'll break down the bodycam footage, review the CAD report, and examine how an encounter meant to ensure safety spiraled into detainment. Watch closely and decide for yourself if this was procedure or overreach.
Lay down, took a rest.
Where you live at?
Right there on Willow Creek.
Willow Creek.
Yeah, right down the
So
road.
you lay in somebody's driveway with a Glock?
Yeah, I got a gun.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, I'm good.
So why'd you lay down in the driveway?
Walk from a person's house.
Where you coming
Took a
from?
rest
Where you coming from, bud?
from my cousin's house.
Where does he live?
4th Street.
4th Street. What's your name, bud?
Does it matter? Too much?
Yeah, it matters.
Why?
So, I'm out with you because you was in somebody's driveway and you have a Glock. See what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. I'm going to put it on my hood, okay?
Good.
Not that it's not against your ride or nothing. What was it, tied on there?
No. You can get it out.
I'm sure.
The caller's concern was clear. A man resting near a driveway, possibly asleep. Yet by the time officers arrived, he was already walking away, off private property. This means no criminal trespass ever occurred. Under Georgia law, welfare checks are designed for public safety, not suspicion. Turning one into an arrest changes the intent of the call entirely.
You're gonna hinder my investigation. So, I mean, we could do this easy or we could do it hard, and I really don't want to do it hard.
There is nothing, there's
But
no crime
okay,
being committed.
but
Right?
here's my thing. You're in somebody's driveway.
But
You're asleep in somebody's driveway with your dog.
is that a crime?
You're on somebody's property. You're trespassing. See what I'm saying?
Not anymore, though.
I mean, we can, dude, I'm telling you, we can make this easy, we can make it hard. I mean, he's good. He doesn't want to give me his name.
Oh. I know this man. Why not? Do I have to? That's what I'm
Legally,
saying.
yes.
Huh?
Legally, yes.
Legally, yes.
Sarge.
Because we got a call about you being in somebody's yard, and we're in the middle of an investigation. So by Georgia law, yes.
Investigation about what?
About trespassing, possibly.
Trespass?
So here's the thing.
Possibly.
Do
But
it.
I'm not there anymore.
Okay.
But we still got a call about you.
You're not going to give us your name?
I don't have to.
Okay.
County. 1095, 1 male.
10-4, 1095.
What am I being arrested for?
Obstruction.
Hello. Oh. Why not?
Do I have to?
Legally, yes.
Huh?
Legally, yes.
Legally, yes.
Because we got a call about you being in somebody's yard, and we're in the middle of an investigation. So by Georgia law, yes.
Investigation about what?
About trespassing, possibly.
Trespass?
So here's the thing. You either
Possibly.
do it.
I'm not there anymore.
Okay.
But
Well,
we
look.
still got a call about you.
You're not going to give us your name?
I don't have to.
Okay. Turn around.
I watched this part and I immediately wonder if he would have changed his wording, if he would have actually been able to talk himself out of this arrest. For instance, he could have said something like, "Yes, I will give you my identification, but first I need to know what crime I've committed." I shared a video for a gentleman recently and I heard him say that, and he prolonged that entire interaction for about 45 minutes.
What am I being arrested for?
Obstruction.
114 on duty yet?
I don't know. You got anything on you gonna poke me, stick me, anything of that nature?
You took my gun.
Okay. Making sure you ain't got no knives, needles, anything of that nature.
Can I possibly call somebody? I have to call my
We'll get animal control.
Y'all are doing
No.
way
The official CAD report for this call listed as a 1037 suspicious person, but the caller's actual words tell a different story. A concerned citizen reported seeing a man resting near a driveway with his dog, worried he might need help. That's a welfare check, not a criminal complaint. No mention of weapons, no threats, no signs of trespassing or danger. Yet when officers arrived, they treated the call as if it were a criminal investigation. Within minutes, that simple welfare concern turned into a custodial arrest. This isn't just about a miscommunication. It's about how dispatch codes can shape officer mindset before they ever arrive on scene. A single label, suspicious person, can be the difference between a check for safety and an unnecessary arrest. So the real question is, did the call escalate because of the man's actions or because of how the call was framed from the very start?
You wanted to play your game, so we played it.
You know, in your car.
Yeah.
You're
I got it.
arresting me for nothing.
I'm arresting you for obstruction. You refused to identify yourself when I had legal right to.
That's not true.
That is. Alright, step back here to this car.
So if I run your gun, is it going to be stolen?
No, sir.
Okay.
How much have you had to drink today? Have a seat.
Sergeant Parker claimed he was conducting an investigation, yet that investigation lasted under 1 minute before arrest. Without a defined crime, Massey's refusal to identify himself was an obstruction. It was an exercise of his constitutional right under OCGA, Penal Code 161024. This misuse of obstruction turns a citizen's silence into a criminal act, a practice the courts have repeatedly warned against.
Control.
Low. Sit.
Good boy.
You're not wanted, so why wouldn't you just...
Sit.
Just because I didn't have to.
No, legally you do.
You do.
Because we did get a call about you being in somebody's yard. And we explained that.
I get that.
So, legally you did. So, well, you can discuss that in court.
I will.
Okay.
This is an illegal detainment.
Oh, no, it's not.
It is.
You think I would do...
Just 3 months before this incident, Lieutenant David Parker was demoted to sergeant, following an internal review by Chief Chris Hamilton. The department didn't release details, only that the action was taken to maintain professional standards. Yet here we are, watching a man detained during a welfare check that quickly turned criminal. This raises serious questions about leadership, training, and judgment. How does an officer with recent disciplinary issues end up leading a scene where citizens' rights are again at risk? When detainment is made without reasonable suspicion, the Fourth Amendment is compromised. And when leadership ignores those failures, accountability becomes just another word on paper.
Making illegal arrest after 17 years of doing this job.
What long was I breaking?
Oh, obstruction.
What long was I breaking?
You refused to identify yourself.
What long was I breaking?
I tell you what, I was going to try and be nice and call somebody for the dog. I'm calling animal control. If you want to continue, I'll play that.
I'm
No.
sitting here chilling with you, but...
No, you're trying to argue, and I'm not doing it.
His ID's next to your other phone.
I'll sit here and talk to you. I'll sit here and be cool with you. But what y'all got me going through right now?
No, you're putting yourself through this.
I don't tell y'all this.
Hey, you are on your way in, right?
Parker, can you talk me? Can you talk to me?
We just 95 the gentleman down here on South Palm Street, and he's got a dog with him.
Can you talk to me? Can you let me look? I'll tell you the whole thing. I don't want my dog to go to the bank. For real. She's gonna get lost.
Jennifer.
I don't want the dog to be good.
Small. Who can come to get the dog?
I can call my mother, and she can call my. I don't know my brother's number, but I can call my mother, and she can call my brother.
Where's he at?
He is right across the street.
Parker's demotion was supposed to be a correction, but did it change anything? If a citizen's rights can be violated during a welfare check, how many others have gone unheard? Should officers who repeatedly blur the line between investigation and intimidation still hold badges? Maybe the real question is, how many complaints does it take before leadership steps in for good?
Hold on. No. Come on. Hey, hop down. Hop down. Hold down. Come here. Hey. Right here. Come on. Hey. Come on. Thank you. Right here. He's right here. Alright. How do you get into your phone? Is it on?
No, it actually is.
Dead.
I was about to say, it's dead.
Okay.
I literally, man, come on.
No. Why? Because I explained it to you before. And you're like, no, I'm not playing your game. You wanna do it your way.
You are playing the game.
Look, if you're gonna argue, I'll go ahead and take the dog to the clinic. I believe that's your son. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're out here on the side of South Palm Street. He needs somebody that can come and get his dog.
Chase.
So, come get his dog, because he is going to be going with us for this morning. Going to be for obstruction. He refused to identify himself after we got a call to him, being in somebody's yard. So, and the bad thing is, he didn't have a warrant or anything like that. He just refused. He refused to provide his name, date of birth. Said he didn't have to, and I explained to him he was going to go to jail if not. He said he didn't have to, so. Yeah, you can smell the alcohol. Yeah. Interesting. But is there any way you or somebody can come get his... Oh, yeah. Understand. He said something about maybe you could get his brother. He didn't know his brother's number, and his phone was completely dead. Oof. Okay. Hey, he's drinking. Mama said that he was walking home because he'd been drinking with his buddy and knew he couldn't drive.
Yeah, he comes from 4th Street.
All the way from 4th?
That's what he told me.
Where's he going?
I asked him, I said, where are you going to? Coming from? He said, my cousin, this is where he's coming from, 4th Street.
Oh, okay.
He made it to the guy's driveway.
He slept in this person's driveway? Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Yep. You'll have to come get your gun from the station.
In the weeks that followed, Derek filed a formal complaint with the Jesup Police Department, outlining every moment of that morning from the initial welfare check to the moment he was handcuffed without cause. That complaint was dismissed in less than 24 hours by Captain David Gray, who reframed the incident in his written response, describing Derek as an armed man near a school. The CAD report and Bodycam footage tell a very different story. Derek was walking home with his dog, not trespassing, not threatening anyone, and certainly not near a school. Despite this, he was charged with resisting arrest, even though the footage shows no signs of resistance, no weapons charge, no trespassing, just a man walking home after a welfare check that should have ended with concern, not cuffs. Still, no outside review was ever initiated. The department stood by its officers, and the official narrative began to shift. Chief Chris Hamilton had demoted Sergeant Parker just months earlier for performance-related issues, and promised a renewed focus on professional standards. Yet here, those standards seem flexible, enforced only when convenient, and ignored when accountability gets uncomfortable. When an internal review protects the department over the public, who protects the truth? Derek was charged, booked, and released. But the greater question remains. What happens when those sworn to protect integrity are the very ones rewriting it? Because real transparency isn't defiance, it's democracy. And accountability begins where excuses end. I'm Brandon, and this has been San Joaquin Valley Transparency.